Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Terry and it's time to do my monthly update, and this is the month of March, and I am gonna try not to lollygag and just get to it and get through it, because we know how many there are to get through. So I'm gonna start with this specimen Dockrilla, which I've had a year now. It bloomed for me a few months after I got it. Got it from Let's Talk Plants, and it's in bloom for me again. Really just opened up yesterday morning. I contemplated taking it to our show yesterday, but I just, it's a lot to do, a lot to lug, because it is big. But there are many flowers opening, and there is a fragrance during certain parts of the day. It's a musky fragrance. That is a species. Next to it up here is a relatively new acquisition. I got these in the fall. This is farmeri, which is mounted, which I'm gonna have to take off of that mount at some point. But these usually flower in the early spring. I don't see any yet. Next to here this is a Brassavola hybrid, I know. Haiku Dawn. That was a repot that's there. This is my thyrsiflorum, my Dendrobium thyrsiflorum, which I don't see any nubbins, unlike the ones that I saw in Chicago at Hauserman's. There's another den that's a deciduous Dendrobium. This is a it's Stardust Fireball, which is a Noble A, not Noble A, maybe it is Noble A, but it's got unicum in it. And these like a rest for the most part, and when you see the buds, you start watering them. And I've started watering them because actually I saw a new growth before that. Next to here, I'm not sure what some of these are. This is a dead plant. It was my glomeratum. Down here, this is my tortillis, which tortillis, which the plant is up there. I should probably start watering it. It's actually that time. But I usually, the rule I believe is you're supposed to wait until you start to see growths or buds developing, and I don't see any of that. None of that on my crystallinum. This is a winter bloomer. This is my falconieri, which is not looking so well, but I'm sure it'll pop back up. These like a dry rest. As is my Coilistylis falcata right here. Behind there is a recently repotted my Angraecum superbum, which it's leaning a little bit, so I'm really hoping that it pulls through. Those are very delicate when they are recently repotted. I forgot this is my Ryncholaelia digbyana. It's got those two new growths that have been developing all winter. Up here is a Brassavola hybrid. I guess, yeah, it's not doing anything, didn't bloom for me. Some of these encyclias up here, I've been giving them a little bit more water. Growths still don't seem to have matured. That new growth on that little baby is doing okay. Some of these are dead over here. This is my Shelob. I think it's a Shelob. Yeah, Miltassia Shelob. Okika. Anyway, there's the clone. This is the variegated one. This is my stamfordianum. This is my Epidendrum, which is now Coilistylis. These get a somewhat of a dry rest. Still not seeing any movement in the sheets. Over here, these are just Brassavola hybrids that are hanging out over here. That's my Serena O'Neill, looking very bad, but it's battling scale. This is my Eucalyptus citrina, this is the growth, which there's still something hard in there, but it's not going to do anything. This is all dried. Hopefully it will produce another growth. I don't think it got enough water because it was sitting way over there. It might have been a little bit cold as well. Some of these up here, this is a Barkeria up here that should be getting to be rested as well. Likes it drier. I think it's Lambara 5 Aces. Okay, but yeah, really, these are those SVO garbage plants that I should have thrown away a long time ago. There's some roots there. Yeah, nothing much. This is this is a Cattleya cross moat spot. Yeah, nothing yet happening on it. Moving down here, this is my new Guarianthe bowringiana that I got at Hauserman's. These are some multifloral paths. This is my grape wax, Baptia grape wax, Cattleya, which is a cross between bowringiana and something. That's my bluish orchid, Places Centrum, Goku Suji, something like that. It's got that new growth. It's down at the bottom. Still alive. There's that Encyclia that's been open for a week now. This is Dark Wings, which is Phoenicia crossed with Diota, I believe. Nothing really else going on here. This is recently repotted Cattleya cross, which is Catante, Miming, 13 red grape, something like that. But yeah, there's really no activity over here besides that. These are some Brassavola hybrids. That's my den. What is that? That's a species, Delcourii. These get a dry rest, so I'm hoping that that's still alive. I don't know. We will see. If not, I'll try to find one. That's a Laturia. Down here, this is my Copper Queen. It's got that new growth back there. Just some more Brassavolas. This is Dockrilla that finally opened. This is a hybrid though. This is Julie's Skillen corn, I believe. Skillen corn, that's what it is. And yeah, just these new growths coming up on my Encyclia. Falcata. And yeah, that's pretty much it. No movement yet on my Oncidium species here, Australabium. Up here, that's my Kiku that's going out. And this Angraecum infundibulare is there. And then there's some Brassavola hybrids up there. That's one of those maybe Cucullata. One of them is Crazy Arachno. This is my Guarianthe Guatemalensis alba cross, which is up there. There's a sheath up there. This should actually be doing something in the sheath. Down here, these are where all of my, these are all Aurantiacas. This is a Guatemalensis. No, this is an Aurantiaca lemon drop. Those are the species. Some of these sheaths should be developing and pushing out, like, where is it at? This one right here. I think that's a bud, but actually it looks like a What the heck is that? Yeah, that's a flower bud. My bad. It's so thin. It's still got a lot of development to go, and so I should better just stay away from it before I F it up. You know me. You know me. You know me. You know me. So, okay. Moving right along. This is the Dendrobium that I got at Hauserman. It's going over. I did take it to the show. Still a nice color. I hate this. Let's take this off. There we go. Much better color. Despite the sun going down. It does have another spike right there. Not much else happening up here. Hopefully I'll start to see some movement on some of these. That looks not good, which is not a good thing because that's a species. This is a species. What is this? Folii. And this is a species. There's that Spiritus Sanctus Escara. And then here's this Dendrobium that's been open for a while. Down here, of course, this is the green Phalaenopsis, the same green that I showed down there. This is the Patinara, of course, that I picked with you all at Hauserman last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, last Sunday. That's that. It's waiting to be taken back to work so I can enjoy it on my desk. Same as this. What else? Back here is the Maxillaria. Looks like it's got some new, the fans are pushing out. You can see the differences in the color. This up here is something that's been hanging out up here all winter. Didn't bloom for me, but it gets a dry rest. This is Lilia Lindy. And then this is, hopefully we'll be showing some new growths. That is Pephinhopia Doug Kennedy. Did mature this new growth. And these are some of my new Brassavolas hanging out here and down there, over there. Down here, this is my nice Brassia that has bloomed for me. I'll post pictures. Sunrise Glow. It's got some roots starting. It looks like there's a new growth over there. Yay! Didn't bloom for me last year. Bloomed the year before. Really nice. What else? This is my Silogeny usitana, which blasted its spike, and then back there is an Encyclia cross, which is a cross between Prismatocarpa and Prismatocarpa and Brassavola. It's got a couple of growths that are still there. Moving back this way, up here is a relatively recent acquisition. It was in spike when I got it, and you can see that the spike has elongated. Oh, maybe you can't see. You know what? Let me find a better spot for it. Maybe here. But if it's not moving, you can see that there's been quite a bit of development along the spike. Oh, it's not going to focus for me, sorry. But hopefully I'll be getting some buds soon. Yeah, there's a bud right there. better lighting. But this is across my Angraecum. What is it? It's an Angraecum cross. Well, it's an Arangus cross is what it is. It's an Arangus Elro crossed with Arangus modesta. Jeez. All right, so this hangs up here in some shade. Gets more misting than water, although I've been watering it a little bit more as the spike progresses. Yeah, it's just not going to do it for me. So my area is still maturing this growth. I'm really hoping to get some blooms on it at some point. Over here, this Dendrobium just finished. This right here is Todd's plant right here that I'm gonna send to him. It's got nice sheath right there. That's the plant. And there's a bud right there on my mean honey drop Dendrobium. My sheaths are still there on, this is my Epi Green Hornet. What else? There's that little thin aberrans. Sorry about the light. Still developing those spikes right there. That's a spike coming out of that sheath down there. That is my, looks like there's another one developing right there. This is a Leptodes alba. That's what it is. Leptodes bicolor alba. This is a new acquisition right here that I just mounted on that piece of cork. And it does have a spent flower on it right there. And you all know what that is. That's a yellow bird. No, it's Bill Worsley. I'm sorry. Bill Worsley. These are some of my trichocentrums that I just recently remounted. There's one right here, and there's the other one that's over here. This is another trichocentrum right here. This one is Albococcinium, which is one that I got at Hauserman that had that little spike right there. Looks like it's bloomed. So we'll see if it's going to give me another flower. This is another trichocentrum right here with a flower bud. This trichocentrum is cross fulcrum times Favi. And there's my other trichocentrum, which is nudum, which is up here. Nothing yet happening. This is mounted on a tree fern, and it's right above this my Guarianthe grandolina, which is a cross between Guarianthe grandiflora and Angraecum magdalena. Back over this way. Just read today, because I'm very frustrated with my Dendrobiums, my Laturias, that there's only one of them right now that I can see that's blooming, that's gonna bloom, whereas all of these put up really nice growths. This is my Bruce Gordon, and there was one in the show yesterday that was beautiful. My friend Melissa, who I'm actually gonna do a tour at some point this year, but she had her Bruce Gordon that was in spike, and I don't know why mine isn't in spike. But anywho, I was reading just today that in order to try to get Dendrobiums to bloom, it's good to withhold water for a month. So I have been trying to do that. I do that automatically in the winter, but with these you can't just completely withhold water. But I have been giving them less, which is what you're supposed to do when they are finished developing their growths, so that they can initiate flower spikes. But I'm still waiting and for that one, and for this one. This one right here is new. This is my Firebirds that I got, that you all saw. And this is another Clandii, or is it Guatemalensis, which has sheaths, which should be pushing out. Yeah, this is my OJ. Then back here are some paths that look weak. That's my Barbadum, I believe, and this one is one that just finished blooming. That's my Venustum. That's my Maxillaria sanguinea, which is going over. And there's my Tenifolia, which should be maturing these bulbs and putting up these new growths, but they don't look so great. This is time, Maxillaria time, of course, and there's my my Ben Berlina, I think that's what it's called, which is a cross. No sign of anything there. Big fat root on that cross. That I got another one mistakenly. That's the lime sherbet thing times nodosa. And I don't know what's going on with my award-winning path here, my St. Swithin, crossed back to Sanderianum, but at least it's got that new growth that's still there, but that looks terrible. Some new growths, some new roots happening down here on that Brassavola BL Petite Stars. And again on my Vida Lee, but still nothing going on in the sheets. No. Yeah, not much happening up here. Back over this way. Still getting some new growths on this Maxillaria, despite all of those of what I thought would be flower spikes blasting. My little seedlings and semis seem to be doing okay. That growth is still progressing. That's another encyclia cross. There's another trichocentrum right there. That's my superbum. That's just a baby. And let's see here. I missed these bulbophyllums, but there's really nothing going on with them in this one down here. There's that, which I took to the show. That's my Cicuculii. And this up here is my Encyclia Marii, which has been resting, getting occasional mistings, for the most part all winter up there. What else? Got some things on here that I've removed that are being treated in my kitchen for scale. That would be my Encyclia radiata and something else. Some of these things don't look so hot up here. This is my Dendrobium carunculatum, not carunculatum. I'll think of that in a minute. Canaliculatum, that was close. This is a spring bloomer. Gets a relatively dryish rest. So that's about time. There's another little seedling of my Coilistylis falcata. Down here are my newly planted Epidendrum difforme, which is I got those from H&R. And this growth over here on my area right there, this is the new growth. That looks really nice. Liking the color on that. It's not getting too much sun. Those don't like it. Those don't like a lot of sun. They prefer shade. So that's an iffy spot for that. This is my probably dead Epidendrum walisi, which I'm sad about, but these are very difficult. I tried to keep them. They like a lot of moisture, but I'm gonna pretend like it's still alive, even though it doesn't look like it. And nothing else else really happening up here, but this is my Angraecum Disticum, which is still alive. Still has that. Well, I don't even think that looks like it's even viable anymore. The little buds down there, not buds, but the whatever you want to call them, spikes. This is doing pretty good. Some new roots on that. That's my Nigella Dockrilla. Hopefully get some new growths on that. What else? Nothing else really. Still waiting on this sheath to do something, if it will, on my Glauca, Ryncholaelia glauca. This is that new acquisition, that Epidendrum. Sorry for the light. It's Unani is what the name of it is. Yeah, the light's bright there. Anything else over this way? I do like the way that these new growths are developing. This is Prestigio Bacala. This is a spring bloomer. Yeah, there's a sheath right there. All of these should produce sheaths. There's a sheath right there. And here's another growth here. Fragrant flowers. There's that other encyclia cross that I got. It's Ruby Profusa, I believe. My inflorescence blasted on that plant back there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to see flowers. Boo-hoo. I did mount that on that piece of, and it's still alive. I mean, there's cane there. I water it, so I think it's doing okay. It's my little Epidendrum laterale, which is going over. It was at the show all day yesterday. I'm sure that made a lot of, this side was a lot more fresh looking. And these, some of my Neophoenicias that I'm giving away. One of them is actually Fernanda's. Let me see. And these flowers. It's a big lip, taking its time in opening with more buds. Actually, it looks like those buds are gonna blast. Not sure why. And there's nothing else over there. Over here, another flower open on this Phalaenopsis. This is my Formosa Dream, which is a cross between Amabilis and Lobii. And then I'm not gonna even complain about this because I know that this is not what it is. So I got, how shall I tell the story? Okay, so this came with, this was perhaps the main reason that I ordered from Orchids.com, from Norman's. When I placed the order, when I went on their website to order this plant, but it is not this plant. This is supposed to be, I mean, I guess it could be, maybe it is. I guess it could be. This is supposed to be KS Happy Eagle. I don't, to me that looks like a Bellina. Although Bellina is in Happy Eagle. Happy Eagle is more red. A lot more red. But, you know, bear in mind, you know my history, recent history with Norman's, with my other fowl, my Cornocervi the Alba one, the Fantastic. I just complained about that, so I'm not going to turn around and complain about this one. So it is what it is. And by the way, this is in looking for a replacement for the KS Super Eagle. I ended up finding this plant, which I just showed you that I got one for Todd for his birthday, and mine is in spike. I paid a little bit more for it. Hopefully those will develop. That should be a dark purple encyclia flower, and those buds are progressing. That's my Dendrobium nemorale, and there's more buds over there, down there, right there, and there's more down there. these. Let me see how these. This was in spike. Doesn't look like it's, but there's a spike under there. It's right there. These will eventually open, I'm assuming, on my species Phalaenopsis, which is fasciata. Along with these buds will eventually open. That's a species as well. That's my corningiana. This is my newly repotted Angraecum vegii, which, you know, as I said with my superbum, which is down there, it's always a trial and error, or they hate to be repotted when they're bloom size, and obviously it was bloom size because there are spent spikes. So I'm hoping that I don't lose this, although I can always try and get one when I'm overseas, although I would prefer not to. I prefer to just keep this one because it's a nice size, it's blooming size, but what can I do? I might just have to hope for the best, but so far so good. But it's lost a lot of leaves, and I mean, honestly, that's not looking so good. I don't know, I'm just trying to think positive. Next to it is a new acquisition. This is my Cimbadella cross that I showed you all on my unboxing last week. Cimbadella Ryncholaelia crossed with falcata. And what I did, I just left it in the pot that it was in and put it down there low and filled it up halfway to the bottom of the lowest, to the bottom of the pseudobulbs. I didn't want to disturb the roots because it has terminated. It's not growing anymore. It is matured, the growths, as you can see, and they bloom in the spring. But another thing that I was reading about Cimbadellas is they hate their roots to be disturbed, and I did not want to disturb their roots, so I just placed them into a bigger pot and put bark around them. And they do like water, copious amounts of water, so that's what I'm giving them. There's my Angraecum eclorianum, which is a fairly recent acquisition, but notice that it had been losing some of the lower leaves, so maybe that's just cold damage, which a few of my plants have been suffering from. We'll see. This is another trichocentrum. This is my lanceanum, which has a new growth down there. Let's see that down there. That's a new growth. I think I'm going to eventually mount this one. They prefer that wet, dry cycle, and they like a lot of water when they're in growth. And I just can't do it to them right there. Down below here, this is my newish acquisition. This is my Forpsii, and it's been down here getting some dappled shade, maturing its growths. That has a sheath in it. Yeah, that is a sheath right there. And this growth over here is still maturing. It sits down there. A little bit of water in the bottom of that because it likes to be constantly moist. A little bit more than regular Latouria orchid does. Latouria Dendrobium, I'm sorry. Down here is, of course, that's my BC Fuchs Orange, which has been in bloom now for a while. Some of these are my paths, some of them multiflorals. That's not doing so good. Looks like I blasted a growth. But hopefully the main plant is still doing okay. This here is Path Gratrixianum right there. It's bloomed last year and it's got some new growths for me. There's new growth. And you can see there's new growth right there. Up above here is another new acquisition that I got at Hauserman after the fact. And you can see that's the spikes on that plant. That's Ascocentrum ampillaceum. I believe those flowers are red and very glistening. Up there is my Phalaenopsis gigantea, and down here is a Encyclia species. What is that tag? There it is. Anyway, and that flowers still there on my Dendrobium. I did peel those leaves that were browning, and no more leaves have browned. So I'm hoping that whatever it was doing has stopped doing it. I do see that it's still putting out leaves from the top, so that's always a good thing. This is a newly repot right here. This is my Cattleya Valentine's Day, which is a chocolate drop crossed with intermedia. Back over this way. This Phalaenopsis. There is a few flower buds left on it, but for the most part it's gone. It's actually, I think it's a Dortonopsis, maybe it's not. No, it's Phal J Hose. Here it is. Pink Girl times Mani Eye. Anything over here? Not really. There's my bulbophyllum, adorable upwind with 3 big flowers about to pop open. New growths maturing on this Dendrobium, and there's a new growth. It's got sheath down there. Sheaths forming right here. This is my Epidendrum reniferum. And again, I will post pics. More sheaths. Sheath. And here's that other sheath that I noticed. That was actually, yeah. Here is a spent sheath. And then there's another sheath right below it. Right there. It's a sheath. And right next to that, that is my Dimorphorchis Loei that I mounted. Next to that, that's my, what is it? Oh, Schoenorchis Chunkifolia, which is doing pretty good. Still growing from the tip. This is my now Dendrobium munificum, which should be doing its blooming. I think it's doing okay now. It was a little bit stressed because I had repotted it into fresh media and it lost its leaves. This is the newest growth over here. But I think it's stabilized now, hopefully. Fingers crossed on that. Up there, I'm not gonna pull it down. That's my Alexandri. This is the latest growth, and well, no, that's the latest growth up there. This is that just hangs right here, bare root. And that's my Trichoglottis philippinensis. And right here is my bulb of, no, this is my Dendrobium Lasianthera cross. Maybe it's just Lasianthera. I think it is just Lasianthera. Yeah, and here's my Arides, Guarianthe ramosa. These should all be waking up. These like a lot of water. Should be waking up. I don't like those leaves, but I think it's still good. Yeah, nothing really over there, but down here, that new growth down there on my Nemorea Wallici is still pushing out. See nothing blooming here, but I'm still getting growth on these new growths, which I'm okay with, I guess. And there's another one back there. This is my Angraecum florenculum, and that's the plant. Right here is, there's the tag right there, that's my Fengen, whatever, Dendrobium. And if you look at these crepe paper sheath looking things. And if you look inside of there, it certainly looks like it's going to eat buds that are popping out of there. It certainly looks like buds to me. Perhaps not those. And I found that if it dries out, then what would be buds completely dries out. So hopefully I've caught these in time and will continue to give them water. I mean, I really have it just sitting in this cup that's full of water, and that's generally what it takes. What else? It's not much blooming, but at least I'm showing you what's going on. This is another Guarianthe cross. It's my Formosa cross with Cattleya. Still looks okay. This is my digbyana, and that's got some new growths coming up on it in certain places. There's one right there. This is my, of course, that's my samurai Dendrobium, which is a cross. Back here is, that's my bobo mandibulare, which has some nubbins coming alive down there. And this is my Ryncholaelia, which I'm going to have to repot. I noticed that this spike is browning up, so that's toast. Back there, this is my my Angraecum. And there's just another bulbo right there. I believe that's my, it's a cross Wilburchang maybe? Not Wilburchang, Wilburchang is right here I think. Oh, this is Fred. Fred somebody. Fred Smith. So that is Wilburchang. And this right here is Glauca, spring bloomer, likes it moist. This is my Tracherianum, which of course you know how that is. Had high hopes for that. Back here is an Encyclia cross, which still did not bloom for me. Still hasn't put up sheets on any of its newest growths. Not happy with you at the moment, sir, because you bloomed for me last year on this spike. Why can't you bloom on this spike? What's the deal? Is there bugs on my plant? That's not a bug. It's not a bug. These are my Pescatorias. This is species Chernia Serena. Should be seeing flowers at some point. Those are still blooming size. This right here is a Jumelia, and it's Jumelia punctata. And that's another Angraecum florentulum that's in semi. And this is my Sergio Roth, whatever. I can't even talk. That's such a tongue twister. Say that 3 times. Okay, I'm not going to. And this right here is my Gigantea alba, which likes a lot of water. Those Giganteas love water. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my update. Well, I missed this one. What's this thing doing? This should be doing something. This is my Francis Dyer, which is bowringiana crossed with fragrance. And last I looked, it had a sheath on it. Let's see if I can find it. It gave me 3 new growths. There's a new growth. I don't see a sheath on that one. This was not a new growth. There's a new growth. I hate doing this. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. When I see a flower spike coming out of it, that's when I'll look. Because when it's like that, But I need to start watering this. I let up off of the watering because Guarianthes don't like water until you really see them putting up new growths, and it was still maturing the growths. Well, you can see the one next to this is still maturing the growth, but I could swear I saw a sheath in there. Now I just don't see it. If you see it, then okay. Anyway, maybe it was my imagination, but it should be blooming soon. I know there's sheather. There should be another one developing, and that's a very beautiful flower, just like similar to that. And up here is my Stylogeny Ryncholaelia, which is a repot and recent. Still got those two new growths right there. And there's another one right there. Right there. But yeah, I think I covered everything. Let me go down here though. This is my Coilistylis. Coilistylis Orchid. That's mounted, gets daily watering. Down there is my big Cattleya that bloomed, my Fred Tompkins that bloomed last year. There's my Stylogeny multiflora. And my bulb, my Dendrobium, which I should be seeing flower spikes, but I don't. Maybe it needs a drier rest, but these like a lot of water. I usually have it sitting in water, but maybe I should give it a drier rest and we'll see. Not a drier rest, but less water. And these can bloom from the old canes. But yeah, everybody, that seems to be it on my update. Phalaenopsis is doing pretty good as well. As is, this is another Jumelia, this is Fragrance. It's doing okay. But yeah, that's about it for my update, folks. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully you're enjoying your weekend. Spring is right around the corner, at least here it is. Enjoy your orchids. Thanks for watching. Bye.